Imagine if we just like started recording and I didn't hit record.
We've done that before.
Have you?
But
actually?
that's why that one's recording.
Oh, okay, true. Yeah.
That's why we do that, because that's happened plenty of times.
Has it really? Like,
Yeah.
you don't even like bother to look over and be like, oh,
It's
hey, by
because
the way, the
you're
button's
like
green.
you're worried about everything else. Like you're worried, is the camera on? Is it set up right? Is this on? Is this you know what I mean?
I kind of feel like that's the most important thing. Like when I'm recording on, like when we were doing our old setup,
yeah.
like I was like, okay, like if that thing does not say stop recording,
Yeah.
then we're in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's part of it. You know, you're never gonna. You can make plenty of mistakes really easy and not even know it. And then the worst part is you'll realize halfway through, and then you're like,
Yeah,
fuck.
you're like, oh fuck.
But you know, it is what it is. That's why you have me with all this experience, Adam.
Hey, I appreciate that. Because I don't know where I would be without you.
That's what I'm saying. Just think about it. I had to figure all this shit out by myself. Like nobody fucking helped me figure any of this out.
Yeah,
You know,
that sucks.
but that's why I'm here to help, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's start this because I really want to drink one of those beers. They're just staring at me.
Just staring.
That one,
know what?
that
Maybe
orange
not.
one's looking real nice.
Orange beer. What are you drinking there, Chris? What orange beer do you have in front of you?
I don't know, dude. We'll talk about that on the pod. Go ahead and start it now. You fucking have to burp.
Dude, I have to. I'm telling you, I have a problem. It's when I drink coffee. So it's every day.
That shit makes me shit. Anyways. Okay. Start it up.
All right.
What the fuck is wrong with
Dude,
you?
I have to. It's like every time you're like, okay, let's start. And I'm like,
Your fucking bowel movements are crazy. God
I thought it was
damn
going to come out. All right, ready? I thought I felt it coming on.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
All right, 3, 2. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sideline Podcast. I am always joined by Christopher Marquez, and it is your boy right here on the mic, Adam Flores. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
What's good? What's good, everyone? I hope you guys are feeling good out there. It's a Saturday morning. We actually have the NCAA tournament later today, too, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, dude, fucking thanks for having me back on the show. We're going to got another good episode for you guys. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, following us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. You already know the drill. That shit's free. Anyways, guys, how are we feeling today, Adam?
I'm actually feeling really great. If you guys haven't noticed, hopefully it's better quality. I mean, when I edit all of this together, and it sounds very nice and crisp,
So why would it just be better quality all of a sudden? What did we do here?
So what we actually did is we kind of pulled a magic trick. We kind of just said, you know what? Let's go ahead and get together in person and let's shoot this thing. Not video yet. That's still on the way. But you know what? Let's go ahead and take it up a notch and use some real microphones,
Yeah. So life, guys, is all about progressing, right? And actually, hold on. Before we do that, there is a tradition called the celebratory beer, and it sounds like...
Hey.
Anyways, so let me
crazy.
tell you guys about progression in life. Hold on, let me take a sip. Hold on.
Actually, have you heard there's somebody on like social media where he's like, if I asked you to get 300% better every year, that sounds hard, right? But what if I asked you to get 1% better every single day?
Then that would be 365% better.
Exactly. So
But hold on. What qualifies as a percentage better?
anything you want. So it's like, in our case, it's like thumbnails or
Right.
audio quality
Right.
or video quality or
Right.
the editing quality. It's
Right.
little stuff like that you don't really take into account when you're kind of like watching somebody on YouTube or listening to somebody else.
Right.
But they're actually getting 1% better every single day. You just don't see it.
Yeah, but can you get percentage worse per day? Like,
know
can you
what?
knock yourself like 20% if you go out and get absolutely blitzkrieged one night? And then the next day you don't show up for the pod?
I mean, yeah, that's getting worse.
Right,
But it's
that'd
like
be getting
you
worse,
gotta,
right?
You got to keep yourself on track because it's like,
You got to keep score.
I mean,
If you're trying to get to 300, someone's got to count. But anyways, progression, guys. So what I was saying is that, in life, you just want to push the envelope a little. And me and Adam right now, we went to Best Buy. This girl was not progressing in her life.
Dude, we were looking for some headphones, right?
Shout out to Best Buy.
Shout out Best Buy, but we were looking for some headphones, and this girl could not find them. They were literally, maybe like 3 feet on her right, and she was looking all over the store for them.
And then the funny part is there's that older lady that was like, she was pissed off for us.
Oh, yeah, she's like, I don't even think we got them.
Yeah, because the young chick that was helping us, she's like, we don't even have these. And then she's like, I'm going to go to the back to check, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to find them. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and then like she was telling us how
customer service is that?
They have like digital tags at Best Buy. So there's like a little X if they're out of stock and a check mark if they're in stock.
Right.
And there was a clear check mark on that digital tag.
Yeah, dude. And that lady just... She was not progressing in life, like I said.
She was not progressing. She's getting 1% worse every day.
Right. And I think Best Buy is slowly sucking the soul out of that lady because she didn't look like she wanted to work there. You know what I mean? So, but anyways.
She was probably working at Target before that, right across the street. Or right next door, actually.
Target. That's what happens is if you can't hang at Target, you go to Best Buy.
No, for real. She was
She hated us, bro. She really did. But anyways, let's get into this, dude. What do we have on the docket for today? This is episode what, 6 or
episode
7?
7. Come on,
number
keep
7.
Dude,
so we got episode numbers just run together, you know. Like I'm just here for the vibes and shit. Like you know,
I was actually looking at it, and we should be around episode 25 to 30 by the time the season starts, God willing.
30 episodes in without an actual game being played.
Without an actual game, yeah. I mean, technically preseason would have started.
No. I'm not talking about the preseason at all.
Yeah, no. Who likes preseason?
Yeah, like even during preseason, we're just going to talk something else, like relationships. You know
relationships.
I don't know, something. We're not going to talk about preseason.
How's your relationship going, Chris? How are you?
I plead the fifth. Just kidding.
I guess.
Just kidding.
I guess that explains the tall boy along with the little 12-ouncer you got right in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, when you drink beer, you have to drink it in pairs. I didn't make the rules.
In pairs, but it's like. Oh, I was gonna make a bad joke. I was like, those look like the Twin Towers going down.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
Too soon. It's been
Shout
24 years.
Shout out 9/11.
You can't shout out 9/11.
Yes,
like
I can,
that.
bro.
No,
Yes, I can. Why not? Who says no?
I mean, like, do we really got any listeners from New York? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
Have you been there?
But like,
how do we know it happened? How do we know this actually happened?
It's all a figment of your imagination.
Right, like Blue. That's exactly what he is.
Blue doesn't even exist. We just talk about him.
But
yeah, let's get into it. So we got the Broken Bones episode today. So it's last week's episode. We kind of had like the stock market episode. But it was sophomore edition, so we were talking about people who were in their second year. And today's episode, we're talking about players who missed games. We do have a requirement for these players. They had to miss a minimum of 5 games. And obviously, we didn't include absolutely everybody on this list because it would be like 12 pages long because, you know, linemen get hurt and safeties get hurt. But we're not talking about linemen and safeties. We're talking about skill players again. We're talking about quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends.
And it's not that we don't appreciate the other positions. It's just that for fantasy-wise, it's just easier to just focus on those skill players. And who really knows who the linemen are in the league? You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah, like,
you know?
I mean, like, I'm a football fan, or like, I'm an NFL fan. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But
I can name like 6 linemen.
I was about to say I can name maybe 5.
And don't even ask me to do it because I think I just lied.
Like over under 5.5.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go under. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so that's why we do the skill position only, just so in case you guys are wondering. But it's more geared towards the fantasy relevance of the podcast.
Yeah. So the first half of it, we're gonna talk about the NFC specifically, and then we're gonna get into the AFC. The AFC list is actually a little bit longer looking at it right here, but I think we have more important players in the NFC anyways. Let's go ahead and...
I would say, looking at this list, I'm going to say Dak Prescott's probably the most important one. Not just because I'm a Cowboy fan.
Right.
Just in general of how the league's going to break down and if Dallas is going to be any good, it's all going to go as far as Dak Prescott goes. And like I said, not just because I'm a Cowboy fan, it's just... You could see the difference when he's not on the field. The team is just not the same. Obviously, that would be the case with most teams when your starting quarterback's not there. But it just really like once he went out, the whole season was down the drain for Dallas. So I would say he's probably the most notable one on there. How do you feel about Dak and the Cowboys going into this next season?
You know what? 2 years ago, okay, so let me tell you this. I've already said this before on a previous episode. Is like I think Dak is like easily the most overhated quarterback, not overrated, overhated. Definitely overpaid, but he's definitely overhated for sure. I mean, he was runner up in MVP voting 2 years ago, and this year everybody was already writing him off after 7 or 8 games that he played. He missed a total of 9 games this year, so he played half the season. I mean, like, how can you just write someone off after half the season? You know who they did write off? It was Brandon Ayuk after half the season. He sat out for mini camp. He sat out for, I think, even the first couple games of the season. I'm not too sure on that, but then he came back and he posted 500 receiving yards or 400 receiving yards in only 7 games, I think. So there wasn't a lot of production out of him either. But I think the 2 most important players on this list for me are actually going to be Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. We got the first 2 guys on the list. So Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. Let's go ahead and pair these guys together to start it off. Christian McCaffrey missed 13 games. Brandon Ayuk missed 10. That's pretty important. Those are 2 key players on the San Francisco 49ers. They did have a run game this year, actually, that was really relevant outside of Christian McCaffrey. They had
Jordan Mason.
Yeah, he was actually signed with the Vikings just a couple weeks ago. Did you know that?
I wasn't aware. I thought he was still hanging out with the 49ers, but it makes sense because obviously I think he was a rookie, right? So he just came in and they gave him the reins to the offense, and he did produce fantasy-wise for the first few weeks. Or a good solid 10 weeks, I would say.
Actually, I think it was the first 6 weeks.
It feels a little longer, but then he got hurt too. He started getting hurt, so then that's ultimately gonna derail your season fantasy wise. But I think McCaffrey's obviously the most integral part of San Fran besides Brock Purdy, because they still need somebody to throw the ball. So I think if he can stay healthy, but that's the thing with CMC is I don't know if he's ever had a season where he's just 100% clean slate, no injury.
Actually, last year, not last year anymore, the 2023 season when he was the running back 1 on the season, he played a full 17 games.
Okay. So I guess the injuries feel just more recent than anything.
Yeah, I mean, when he was on the Carolina Panthers, he was very injury prone. It feels like he was injured every other week, and he was just coming back, and then he comes back and gets hurt again.
Right. But I mean, I'm sure the usage in Carolina was through the roof too. So
100%.
And then Brandon Ayuk has the potential to fill the void of Debo. Who was I going to call him right there?
I don't know. What were you going to call him?
I don't know. Debo Samuel. Debo Samuel sounds like the quarterback's name for the Clemson for some reason.
I don't know who their quarterback is.
Anyways, he has a chance to fill that role and that void that's left since he's gone to the Commanders now. So I think Ayuk would have some good fantasy relevance this year because he looks like he's in line to be wide receiver number 1 in San Fran. So that's going to have some value to it. And then CMC, you already know, is running back 1. It's just going to be do people still take him number 1 this year overall?
See, that's the thing.
That's hard. I wouldn't.
Personally, I couldn't even see myself. If I had every single pick in the first 3 rounds, I think I'm taking CMC at the back end of round 3. Is that crazy?
Yeah,
is that
that's
a hot
crazy.
take?
Yeah, no, that's way too crazy. That's way too late, actually.
Well, think about all the talent you got at running back. You have
okay, but you're this is assuming a 12-team league.
Okay, right, a 12-team
so
league.
you're saying that there's 30 other players that would go off the board.
I would rather have Chase Brown from the Bengals over Christian McCaffrey.
That's I can see it because of the production in the passing game, but I mean, do you think that many people are going to pass on him? That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely
is
not.
that other people not everybody that plays fantasy is a gun hole, fucking the biggest football fan in the world. A lot of them play and they go based off the names, they don't really deep dive on a fucking roster and see who's on the depth chart and target certain guys because they're a handcuff. A lot of people are just oh, it's Christian McCaffrey. I feel like they do that with Travis Kelce, And so I think if you got through the first round and people saw Christian McCaffrey on the board, somebody in the second round is I'm getting him. If he's there, I'm fucking snagging him. You know what I mean? Because it's very rare that he would be still available in the second round. That would never happen.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh because they're the 49ers. I don't even like the 49ers to begin with. I know Brock Purdy's a great quarterback, but I still hate on him.
Right. I mean, I just don't like the organization in general. But anyways, I think when we talk about the draft, or the fantasy drafts, we have to just remember that people will take people just because they're on their favorite team. I've seen people that will take Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. They'll take the
Rico
Cowboys
Dowdle.
defense, and then they'll take the
Brandon Aubrey in the
Brandon
fourth
Aubrey,
round.
right? And so they choose all those players just because they're Cowboy fans, and which is fine. But that also affects how other people will draft, because if they're reaching for a player, then somebody else that should have been drafted is now available. So that's why I think Christian McCaffrey or anybody like that would get taken right away.
Yeah, like I think we were when we drafted in our league last year. So we have a player DJ, and he's a Miami Dolphins fan. And I remember when he took Jonnu Smith in the draft, and I was like, "What kind of pick is that? Like that's crazy." And then Jonnu Smith ended up being a top tight end this year. So it's like sometimes it pays out, sometimes it doesn't. But if you're drafting, like I think your dad actually drafted Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk this past year. And these are the first two guys that we're talking about. Brandon Ayuk missed double-digit games, and so did CMC.
Well, I guess it goes to show my dad doesn't know what he's doing on fantasy. But anyway, shout out to you, Dad.
Shut up.
But the next player you have is Kenneth Walker on this list.
Wait, really quick. CMC, up or down? I'm going up on him just because he was down this year. So, I mean, I feel like you can only go up unless you were to...
How can he go down from that?
I mean, like, he had 50 carries for 200 yards
Now
this
that
year,
I'm thinking about the question, I'm like... If I say down, that means that he's retiring or something. Like he's not going to play anymore.
You know, actually, did you see that rumor that Dallas wanted to make a blockbuster move for CMC?
Yeah, but I mean, dude, Dallas doesn't do anything. Dallas does not make...
They're all talk.
Yeah, they don't do fucking... I think the last big trade they did was for Amari Cooper, but that was it. I mean, and that didn't... And then they ended up just letting him go like 2 years later. But anyways, yeah, anytime I see like those rumored Cowboy trades, I'm like, dude, Jerry Jones is not going for any of this shit, so I don't even pay attention to those. But it'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean...
Ain't gonna happen, though.
A boy can dream.
A man can dream. You're a man now, Adam. You're on a Roadcaster Pro right now. You're a fucking man.
You know what? Thank you. I appreciate that.
You fucking got hair on your chest and shit.
I feel like I need a beer now.
Go ahead. Say less.
Go ahead. You got any Twisted Teas in the back?
I don't. Actually, I'll get you some next time.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Because I don't fuck with anything else but Bud Light. Like literally that's all I'll ever buy.
Well, like I remember I asked you, I was like, what would you do if they took away Bud Light? And you were like, oh, Miller Lite. Like, so is Miller Lite your second option, like at all times, or?
I don't have a second option as long as it's cold.
Wow.
That's
I feel
rule.
like Bud Light shouldn't sponsor you. Like just you though, not the whole podcast, just you. Like,
Yeah, I mean I could just be the honorary Bud Light drinker.
Like if Bud Light came to you and they were like, listen, we're gonna wrap your car in Bud Light, but it's a Lamborghini. Are you taking it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What if it's like a Prius?
That's fine.
Really?
Yeah,
like
gas is expensive,
What
dude.
about like a 2006 Prius?
Nah, not 2006. I have to have like Bluetooth in the
What if you
car.
get a 1998 Toyota?
No,
Corolla?
I need Bluetooth, bro. Come on, you saw how hard we were jamming right now.
Yeah, I guess you're
I cannot be in a car. Like, okay, so another thing I hate, and this is a PSA, is when you're in the car with me, do not talk, please.
Oh yeah, I didn't talk.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You were great,
Yeah,
but
no.
that's why I'm like, wow.
I was just scrolling on
I
Instagram.
fucking love you, Adam. But
Thank you.
because I hate when people get in the car
And
and
they
then they
just
just start talking, right?
Yeah.
Or they're in the back seat because Lena knows the rule, like no talking. Okay. So then other people will get in and they're like, "Oh, say this," and I'm like, "Yo,
Guys-
we are bumping Ian Dior right now. Okay, you
Lena's
are
his
not."
wife, by the way, and she's not allowed to talk in the car.
Yeah. She can't talk in the car, and she knows that when somebody else is with us and they're talking. And like I have the music up loud and I have to lower it so I can hear them. She knows I'm getting upset. She knows because I don't fuck with that. Like we're in my car. Like get on your phone, whatever. Don't turn the volume up on your phone though, because I don't want to hear your IG reel or whatever. But you're gonna be quiet and we're gonna bump the shit out of some good ass music and that's it. I don't know how we got here.
I feel like me and Josh are like perfect, suitable people for that position. You know, just not talking, scrolling on IG.
Yes, exactly. That's what I need out of life sometimes. You know what I mean? That's what like car rides are my music time. That's what it is.
That's fair.
And I need
can
it
see
like
that.
every day, like
You know,
multiple times.
Am
a day.
I weird for listening to podcasts in the gym?
No, I mean you're weird for going to the gym, but not the podcasting part.
How am I
just
weird
kidding.
for going to the gym?
I'm just fat. No, dude. I mean, some people like. I mean, I like podcasts, but more when I'm just chilling at home, like playing the game or something.
Yeah.
But in the car, it's music all the time. Like I won't listen to a podcast in the car unless like.
Well, like I know you listen to our podcast, and like I do too. But like, when
Yeah.
do you listen to the podcast?
Like when I'm chilling, just like playing 2K.
Okay.
Yeah,
so like in
because
the background.
I'm always gonna be listening to something, right?
Yeah.
So I'll listen to it, and I listen to it like right as it drops because it just like
It's fresh.
It's fresh, yeah. And I like to hear like
Because
fresh
like if you
things.
listen to it a week later, then it's like, oh, we're already on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
know?
So, but yeah, like I said, music in the car, and then podcasts like at work, or when I'm just like fucking chilling, getting high, you know.
I can respect that.
So that's how it is. But I don't know how the fuck we got there.
I don't know how we got there. We kind of went on a little rant.
I think we can expect more rants now.
Yeah.
Because
you know what? It's good because we're in person now.
Yeah, that's
so,
what
like,
I'm
there's
saying.
no latency between like,
Right.
oh, what do you think, Chris?
Right. Or
And then,
like,
like,
is
10
he
seconds
is he
later.
done talking? Like,
Yeah.
should I start talking? Or I start talking and you weren't finished talking? So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, because like we can actually see each other's mouths move.
Yeah. And I mean, facial expressions and all that shit too.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Walker, we were trying to get into him, right?
Yeah. So he missed 5 games last year, and he's the running back on the Seattle Seahawks. If you guys are not aware, running back 1, he's right in front of Zach Charbonnet, who actually missed a couple games this year, but I didn't put him on here because I think he had missed. It was like 3 or 4 games, so he didn't meet the cut. But I think Kenneth Walker is a really talented running back. I think Zach Charbonnet is also a really great running back. It's kind of tough when your team isn't schemed for like a double-headed monster. You know, like the Lions are like an outlier. They had 2,000-yard rushers, and they had no, actually, I don't even think David Montgomery hit 1,000 yards this year.
No, but I mean, they both had like double-digit touchdowns, I believe, from both of them.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that in itself is big.
Oh, yeah.
But like you said, the coaches have to be willing to commit to running like a 2 running back system, and you have to have 2 running backs that complement each other. You know, you can't have 2 Derrick Henrys. You have to have like, well, just like the yin and the yang, like a power back, and then you have to have your more
back.
elusive, more like
Speedster.
in the flat type of back, and then like I said, your power backs in between the tackles, goal line situations,
Right.
3rd and short.
And I
type
think
of
that's what
plays.
we saw out of the Lions a lot last year, and
Yeah.
even 2 years ago when they were implementing Jahmyr Gibbs for the first time. How we saw David Montgomery was the first drive guy. Like he was like, all right, let's break our offense in, and then once we got down to the goal line, like it's all David Montgomery.
Like the team that used to do that, I feel like was the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles always had like 2 backs.
Well,
but
like who
then-
did they have? They had Shady, and then they had who else?
Well, I'm thinking of like Shade. Well, they always had just like a second. Like it wasn't like anybody that was like super famous. It was just another second back that they would use. Like,
well, like I
all
feel
the
like
time.
well, Shady played with Vic, didn't he?
Yes.
So I guess you kind of have that double threat type
Right.
of deal, even though it's not a second running back.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Seattle's set up to do that, and I don't think they want to do that. And then they have a first-year quarterback too. So,
Well, I mean, it's
You know.
first year for the team.
well,
but
yeah, that's
Sam
what I mean.
Darnold,
Brand
yeah.
new quarterback. Like he's gonna. And to me, it seems like if you have Sam Darnold, you're gonna want to throw the ball. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you got JSN out there, I would 100% want him to be throwing him
Yeah.
the ball.
So I think the problem for Walker is that Charbonnet is there,
Right.
and they can steal each other's carries, and they can poach each other's work and that's going to be what's hard. That's the unpredictable part, is when you have those backs. Some weeks you can start them depending on the matchup, right? If they're playing like a bad run defense,
Right.
but then you never know because they could literally just share the workload and they both just do decent, and then you get nothing fantasy wise.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. I would probably be out on Kenneth Walker, like drafting him personally. Don't get me wrong. I think he's still a great asset for your team on fantasy. But I think just because the fear of having him go down, because we have seen him to be injury prone the last 2 years. And then for Zach Charbonnet to fill in that role. And then if the Seahawks are like, okay, like, well, Zach Charbonnet is doing a great deal or great job at filling in that RB1 role. Let's go ahead and roll with him while Kenneth Walker becomes fully healthy, rather than like, hey, let's push this guy out on the field and maybe he'll get hurt again.
Yeah, I mean, he's somebody that, and I'm talking about Walker here, is that if you can get him late, like in the later rounds, he doesn't even need to be a clear starter for you. He could just be a bench player that you rotate on the bye weeks. Because, I mean, ultimately, on the bye weeks, if you can rotate in still like arguably a running back 1 just to get you through that week, then there's the upside in them and having him just on your team. But you would have to draft him late. I'm not looking for him early on.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even take him probably like in the first 4 or 5 rounds.
No,
Like
I'm talking like 8
like,
or
yeah,
9. Like I'm
round
talking late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the only reason his draft stock is down this year is because of those injuries and because of the uptick in production from Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah.
But I think last year we would be having a completely different conversation saying, oh, Kenneth Walker's a second rounder, Kenneth Walker's a third rounder. But now we're probably looking at him like 6, 7, 8 rounds, maybe even 5 if you really want to reach on him. But I probably wouldn't even take him that early. I would be probably looking at a quarterback like in the 4th, 5th round, or maybe even a tight end by that time.
Yeah, I mean your league is going to dictate where you position yourself to get this guy.
Yeah, and then like a lot of times you'll see trends like in the draft where it's like, oh, that very first person jumped the gun and took a quarterback in the 3rd round or the 2nd round. Like, okay, now everybody's gonna start drafting
quarterbacks. And that's when the run goes. So like the moment someone takes the quarterback, it literally sets off like a ticking time bomb in everyone's head. But I actually like that because the moment I see that, I'm like, hell yes. That means I'm going to be able to grab a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, RB1 or RB2 because I'm not reaching for quarterback.
Exactly.
Like, there's no way. I mean, you could reach for maybe like Josh Allen, but it better be already like you better already have 2 running backs and you better already have a wide receiver. Then,
yeah, like if you're reaching for a quarterback, it's going to be one of like 3 or 4 quarterbacks, and that's like Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and now even maybe Jaden Daniels. You know, but like those are probably like the 4 guys I would probably be reaching on. Maybe even Joe Burrow, but
I'm not a big reacher, you know?
Yeah.
Jack reacher.
I mean, the last 2 championships I won, I had Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. So those weren't even like guys anybody were looking at in the draft, and I ended up winning championships with them.
Yeah, and I'm not going to I don't want to give away secrets here, but typically I will take a quarterback very late because I want to fill. You can only start one quarterback.
Exactly. I mean, like if you're running a double quarterback system, then by all means,
but
like
I don't know that many leagues that operate like that.
Well, it's like, okay, would you rather have like let's say you could hypothetically get Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow on your team, like if you're in a double quarterback system, right? Would you rather have those 2 guys and then have maybe like Stephon Diggs and maybe like Cooper Kupp on the Seahawks? Would you rather have that? Or would you rather have like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and then like at quarterback you have Trevor Lawrence and Dak Prescott?
I would much rather have that pairing.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I just think, like I said, well, I don't know. I don't like the idea of the 2 quarterback league. That's where I just it just doesn't sit right with me. But I would take the 2 better skill players over having 2 elite quarterbacks. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can do that. Like, because you can always rotate out quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally, if you wanted to, you could play quarterbacks based on matchup week to week if you wanted to.
Right, but like the problem with some of those is like you can only start one quarterback. So like that goes for a team too. Like they can only roll out one quarterback a week. So like if you have Jalen Hurts out there, like you only got one quarterback, but you got Saquon in the backfield, and then you got like 2 wide receivers, and then you got a tight end. Like you have all these skill positions around that quarterback, but there's typically only one quarterback.
No, yeah, but they're always going to touch the ball. So like you have a higher chance of getting some sort of production at almost on every single play.
That's fair.
Whether they're a running quarterback or they just pass, they're either going to get you yardage, they're going to get you a touchdown. And that right there is going to happen almost every single play, unless there's a sack or whatever. But anyways,
next player we got
Chris Godwin from the Bucks. How many games did he miss? You have 10?
He missed 10 games.
Damn. Yeah. Did he really miss 10 games?
He did. I remember exactly when he got hurt. I was actually at work.
I feel like I've said this before. He missed 10 games.
They were in a shootout against Baltimore, and it was garbage time too. I think there was like 40 seconds left on the clock.
And he got hurt?
Like and he dislocated his ankle. Yeah, it was like on a slant route too, I think. It was pretty rough to watch.
That sucks ass.
But if you remember correctly, he was actually the wide receiver 1 on the season when he went down.
Yeah, like he was having a great season, and then obviously injuries can derail everyone, but I think he was really benefiting from the Baker Mayfield
experience.
I was going to call it extravaganza. You know what I mean?
You know what? That's actually a really good one.
Because I feel like when you go to their locker room, everyone's just like fucking. They're bumping hard rap music for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Like probably like who would they be playing? Maybe like some Young Dolph. Like just really setting the vibe, really getting after it, you know?
I feel like, I don't know, Mike Evans to me is just so old. I can't see him bumping Young Dolph.
No, dude, I can see him. I feel like he's one of the guys that like keeps up with the trends.
You think
know?
So? I think Baker Mayfield's like that too.
Yeah, because they still want to be seen as cool like in the locker room.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
relevant.
even though you're older, it's like I still want to be cool.
Well, because Mike Evans has to be like one of the oldest players on that team, if not the oldest.
Like, look at the NIL guy, the manager for that basketball team, McNessie State.
Oh,
Bro, this guy cashed out, bro. This guy's the nerdiest looking guy, but because he raps YoungBoy, and he raps YoungBoy like NBA YoungBoy,
and he was like walking them out of the tunnel.
yes,
too.
with the speaker, and but no, he's rapping that shit like
bar for bar.
yeah, and it's like some shit where they're like getting money, like fuck, you know, like
you missed that one.
I missed that one.
Hold on, ready to go again. Like,
yeah. No, hold on. But anyways, he's like, me and my go. I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to fucking rap and do that. It's too hard.
It's like,
anyways, the point is that like that guy, he's just cool and he's like not black.
He's got aura.
Yeah, he's got aura, and so everyone fucks with him, and he turned that into like NIL bags.
Yeah,
and I think it's cool. So I just all I'm saying is that like in the locker room.
Did you just say he's not black?
He's not black.
I know he's not black.
Okay,
like,
I just
really had to point that out.
Yeah, because he's rapping YoungBoy like that, bro. Like, and the way that he's like aggressively rapping.
You think like the basketball players on the team like give him the pass?
Yes.
Like you think he's in the locker room like dude, shouting out like, "Yo, what's up, my?"
Yes. Bro, he's rapping it in the like. He's rapping it word for word. Like a lot of rap songs have the N-word in it. So he's
100%.
He gets. That's not the only song they all rap to, by the way.
Yeah, no,
that's just the one that they all like.
Like
but in the locker room, they're bumping like all sorts of shit.
All sorts.
You know what I mean? Like 42 Doug or whatever.
42 Doug.
Young boy.
Oh my god.
Everybody, they're bumping the hardest of. Who else? Who's another ruthless ass street rapper?
I mean, like Future's more of like.
Nah, Future's already mainstream. I'm talking
I guess you're right.
Like young boys in federal custody right now. That's how real this shit is.
You know,
so is 42 Doug. I think
he's actually gonna get out. Did you see that?
Yeah. But still, I mean, I'm just saying, like that's the type of rap that we're talking about here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that street, like that real grimy shit.
That real grimy.
That
Chief
real
Keef.
that Chief Keef of like 2012.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so Chris Godwin missed the 10 games, but the potential just with the usage in Tampa is going to be there. So that's another player that you could probably scoop up kind of later. That could give you like wide receiver 1 numbers if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think people are going to be fearful to kind of draft him so early because of that dislocated ankle. But like, I mean, I feel like everybody says this nowadays, but he's like, oh, he's not like on pace, but he's like, what do you call it? Like, oh, like ahead of schedule, like when it comes to recovery. So,
well, yeah, dude. I mean, what do you want him to say? Nah, bro, this guy can't even walk still, bro. This guy's in pain
like,
every day.
You gotta be transparent, you know.
No, and I mean, your agent wants them to know or think that you are healthy because if let's say it's the other way around where they're like, dude, this might be like something even more severe than we thought. Then they could be like, well, let's just release this guy.
Yeah, I guess
you know. And then how are you going to pass a medical on another team?
But like, how do you forge like medical?
No, you're not forging it. You're just giving the impression that they're doing better than they are.
Ahead of schedule.
Yeah, and it's just like you put out a statement. That's PR. You know.
I mean, I guess you're right.
That's all it is.
I think I would be a little bit down on Chris Godwin. I mean, he was the wide receiver 1 before he went down, so Baker Mayfield obviously loves him as his target over there in Tampa. But I would be just a little bit down. I wouldn't be like excessively down, like don't even draft this guy. But if you can scoop him like in the 7th round, like that's an absolute steal.
That's a steal. I said, if he's gonna give you wide receiver 1 potential late in the rounds like that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, and we're watching him like in mini camps and he's already route running, he's easily top 3 rounds. Like I think so.
Yeah.
Next guy we got is Derek Carr.
Not much to say here.
Yeah, it's Derek Carr.
On my end.
I'm out on Derek Carr, like completely for fantasy usage. Unless you are running a dual quarterback system, then I would definitely try scooping him up late. But I don't think he's even QB1 caliber.
No. He doesn't deserve to be drafted, I don't think.
No.
Because if you think about it, like 12-team league, in my opinion, if you have a 12-teamer, you should not be rostering 2 quarterbacks. That's just my opinion.
No, definitely not.
So that means that if everyone only rosters 1, there's no way Derek Carr is one of the top 12 quarterbacks that gets picked.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And then like you guys,
and even if you want to, like, I would say even top 24 at this point.
Yeah, 24 is kind of reaching. It's just like I would have to really look at like all the names on the list at once and then be like, okay, like Derek Carr's 23, you know, or like
It's just rough.
it is pretty rough. But next guy is his teammate Chris Olave. He missed 9 games. I feel like he was never on the field this year. I think he definitely missed more than 9 games, but like he left a couple games early, and it's just considered a start, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't get the DNP.
Right. I feel like he actually truthfully missed more than 9 games. I think it was definitely double digits. It was 10 or 11 for sure. Because I think he left 2 games early.
I don't even know if I would not be targeting him at all at the moment.
You know, I've actually seen a lot of people that like think of Chris Olave really highly. And
which is fine. That's what you can think whatever you want about
I feel
somebody.
like if you're not a Saints fan, you should be out on Chris Olave.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know. There's certain offenses where you're like, I just don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
and right now that's how the Saints feel.
Yeah, the Saints are one of those offenses.
Yeah.
I think the only person I would want from that team is Alvin Kamara.
Until you see something different, right? But like what we're going on, like based off right now, is last year and what we think is going to happen in the future. I just don't see that offense just being like fantasy wise relevant,
like super productive.
Yeah, and then Kamara, yeah, but I mean, part of that is just usage. Somebody has to fucking run the ball, right? Somebody has to catch the ball out of the backfield. Do you think
Derek Carr is like the best QB option in New Orleans right now? Like it's either Derek Carr or like Spencer Rattler.
Well, I don't think it's who's the best. It's who are you paying right now.
Yeah,
and so
I guess which is
you have to kind of roll with Carr. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt and let him start. And then if it's just like, if it's a shit show, if it's it's just not working out, then you can justify it and say we're going to Rattler now. But at least we gave this guy his fair opportunity.
That's fair. So are you out on both these guys or just Derek Carr?
I'm out on the whole Saints offense.
That's
or
fair.
any fantasy relevance from them. I'm just not looking at that team. There's certain teams where I just don't look at them. I'm like, I don't know.
Fair. All right, sticking in the NFC
but
South.
New Orleans, beautiful city, by the way.
Adam Thielen next, who missed 7 games. Old man Thielen.
You're just gonna ignore the New Orleans compliment?
I mean, like, okay,
you've never been there.
I've never been there, so I can't like personally compliment them.
Smells good.
I know it does not smell good in New Orleans. I've heard.
What do you mean, bro? They have great soul food there.
Dude, I've heard horror stories of like what it smells like downtown, like after Mardi Gras. Like,
well, I mean, that's Mardi Gras, dude. What do you expect?
But still, like, I've heard like New Orleans
smells
like I
smell bad
like
after Mardi Gras.
And
yo,
use
somebody
your
get that
imagination
button, get the button away from this fool. This guy gets a soundboard and he fucking just hits everybody.
Dude, I love it. I haven't hit every button. Well, like, should I?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. This guy was altering his voice earlier. It was crazy. Do it.
I'll put a little clip in, but it's like.
It kind of sounds like this.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm sorry.
Adam is a grown adult, I think. But
I'm like,
after like the last 40
I'm a grown
minutes,
adult stuck in a 12-year-old.
After the last 40 minutes, whoa, stuck in a 12-year-old is crazy.
You know what I meant, like.
Oh yeah. You could have said stuck in a 12-year-old's body or mind, but no, you're just straight
12-year-old
stuck.
mind.
Anyways, I thought you were grown up until about 45 minutes ago when we got here, and I leave the room to go get beers and water because I'm a nice guy.
Thank you. Actually, I haven't taken a sip of my water.
Yeah, dude, they're just sitting there, but whatever.
Well, because I asked for a room temperature.
NBD, there's one of each. I asked for room temperature. You sound so entitled. You sound so entitled right there. I asked for room temp. Usually it's the other way.
Asked for Bud Light and somebody brought you Miller.
I asked for cold water and they brought me a fucking warm one. This dude said, "Oh, I want room temp." Like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Guys, I just like room temperature water better than like.
Just be grateful you have water. Fucking room temp. I want it. I need it.
I need spring water.
Oh, is this water not from the alkaline springs of the highest mountains in Ireland? No, bitch, it's from Walmart. That's great value water, bro.
That's all the water
That's
I
fucking
drink.
$5 for 40 of those bitches, you know?
Yeah, it's a great deal, actually. Actually, they used to be cheaper. They used to be like $2 a case.
Yeah, dude, but like, where is this water coming from?
Probably like
Probably the toilet.
the ditch.
Anyways. I've put my hand in the toilet before because I dropped an earbud in there, and I couldn't let the because you only have so much time to retrieve it. So I may have I didn't flush because you'll lose the earbud. So I may, and this was post usage.
Why would you flush while your hand's in the toilet?
No, the earbud was in the toilet. So
yeah, I know, but like, why would you even?
No, that's why you can't flush. So that means whatever's in there, you're in there with it.
You know, everybody should keep like a fishnet right next to their toilet.
They should have a safety net on a toilet,
okay,
and
but
that
like,
just lets like your
where
shit
would you go?
It goes through this little hole that just like is perfectly positioned.
But you can drop anything in there.
You're right.
Not just the doozer, you know.
I'm just thinking.
Or it's like,
about
what
it.
if that doozer comes out like sideways? I've
All
had
right,
that happen.
so Adam Thielen. Good God. Fuck. If it comes out sideways, Jesus. I don't even want to know what your diet consists of. If that's what's coming out of you. Adam Thielen, he's old.
Yeah, he's 31
old.
or 33 or something
He's
like
old.
that.
He's old for NFL
his
standards.
age.
We're older than him. I'm older than him calling him
You're
old.
older than him. I'm not old.
That's fucked.
Actually, maybe I am.
That's really fucked. But
know.
anyways, I don't know. Maybe like a flyer, maybe on him late round, just to. I think
I
he's
think Adam
the
Thielen
perfect.
can actually go undrafted, and
No,
like
he's
nobody
not.
bats
No.
an eye, and they're like, "Oh, like let me
No,
steal
no,
this
no,
guy."
no. The reason he won't is because he's a household name.
You think so?
Yeah. So somebody's gonna be like in the whatever, like one of the last rounds, they're gonna be like, I don't even know anybody on the board anymore. Oh, Adam Thielen. Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
know that guy.
yeah.
He's been in the league since
he's,
2003.
He played for
The Houston Oilers.
I think he's a Viking at one point, right? And then they're just gonna draft him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can.
And then they're gonna
notice
realize,
that.
oh, he's with Carolina.
Gross.
Like,
and then they drop
fuck.
him like in
Yeah.
week 3.
No, yeah.
And then you
So
can snag him up.
he gets drafted for sure, just based on the name. But we've talked about Bryce Young ad nauseum here, and until we see how he's going to play, we can't really, really judge Adam Thielen yet. I mean,
Adam Thielen is 34.
yeah, I'm older.
He'll be 35 at the start of the season.
Wow,
Wow.
born in 1991, just like me. Look
No,
at that.
1990.
Oh, fuck you. Okay. Anyways, so Thielen, he's going to get drafted, but I don't have a lot to say about him.
He's like
yet.
a 9th rounder, 10th rounder.
Yeah, I do like him as a wide receiver. He's steady. He's very good. He doesn't drop the ball, it seems like.
Yeah, no, he's got sure hands for sure. I
So-
would be looking to snag him up as like a bench flex option. And then I would kind of see how the season progresses for Carolina. And if it does look promising, then I would definitely be wanting to start him as like a flex option. But definitely not as like a wide receiver 1 or 2 on my team.
Oh, no. Hell no. If you have him 1 or 2 as your wide receiver, you did something bad in the draft.
you did.
You must have 3 quarterbacks on your roster. I mean, I've seen it happen before, dude. I'm not going to say
in a
names.
1 QB situation?
Yes, I've had
rough.
people in my league have 3 quarterbacks out of the draft.
3? What?
Don't ask.
That's a real horse.
That's not my team. you
Okay,
know?
well,
I'm not managing that team.
I'm not up or down on Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of ranked where he should be.
Yeah, he's neutral.
in
He's a white.
everybody's-
He's a white wide receiver. We're
Yeah.
we're neutral about
Speaking
it.
of white wide receivers,
Yeah,
did you know Hunter Renfro is out of the league now?
sounds about white.
Shut the. I'm
You walked right into
mic
it.
away from you.
You
Oh my
walked right
God.
into it.
Okay, next
Hey,
guy.
it's because I've been working on my stand-up material, so I feel like that was. I feel like that you pitched me the ball and I hit it. Like I really did. That's fucked up. Anyways,
Okay, next guy we got is the first guy we
got
talked about
jokes.
was Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
We already touched on him a little bit, but I'm definitely up on him in terms of like draft stock.
fantasy-wise, Dak is always very productive. So he throws a lot, and in the red zone, they usually look to throw. So he will get you touchdowns and yardage if he's healthy. But yeah, I mean, I like Dak. He's always the quarterback that I'll try to target because they will take a lot of other quarterbacks in front of them. And unless you have like a super homer Cowboy fan in the league, then you have a good chance of getting them late. But
Well, okay, like who would you rather have, Sam Darnold or Dak Prescott this year?
Dak,
Would
easy.
you rather have Dak or Stafford?
That's a little harder. Probably Stafford. But I mean, if you end up with either one of them, you're not in bad shape.
Okay, like this is a tough one because this guy's actually been on like a downtick in terms of fantasy production. Mahomes or Prescott for fantasy?
Probably Prescott for fantasy.
Okay, that's a good take. I don't hate
Yeah.
that.
No, just fantasy wise. I'm
Right,
not saying,
just fantasy.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't.
I'm not
expect the
saying
Cowboys to go
he's
to
a
the Super
better
Bowl.
quarterback or he's a better like player. He's in a better position. It's just fantasy wise, Dallas like usage is gonna. Dak will throw the ball all over the place. So
fair.
will Pat, but they're not as. I guess the thing with the Chiefs is they don't really get into these crazy shootout games, and Dallas lives in the shootout.
Okay, like
Jesus.
yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Okay, did you actually see the news on Dak Prescott where there was a rumor he was going to get traded to the Browns? Like it was a fake news report.
Yeah,
So there was a
there's
reporter
no
in
way.
Cleveland, Ohio, and he was like, "Oh, we just got breaking news. Dak Prescott is going to get traded to the Browns," and like
That
he
guy should
claimed
be
it.
fired.
Yeah, like he claimed it as an official report, and then they did like deep dives on it,
Fake
and then it
news.
turns out that it was fake, and it was actually supposed to be. I forgot who was actually going to the Cow. Oh, it was Greg Newsome, the second, at plus draft picks to Dallas. And I think a couple late rounds plus Dak would go to the Browns. But I'm like, that's stupid. Like, you already saw what happened the first time you guys did that with Deshaun Watson, and clearly it didn't end well.
And Dallas will not trade Dak.
Oh, yeah, no. After
it.
they gave him that $50 million contract or $60 million contract, like, no way in hell.
Nope, no way.
So I'm definitely up on Prescott after last year.
Yeah, of course. Easy to be up on him. I mean, we haven't seen much out of him, so.
Next guy is a smaller guy. We got Austin Eckler on the list. He missed 5 games. If you remember, I think he missed a couple games late because of a concussion that he had actually playing Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was either Dallas or the Eagles, I think. But he had a nasty concussion. I remember he got hit, and you can actually hear the pop on the field. It was a dirty hit. I mean, it was a good hit, but it was nasty. Austin Eckler, he's already up there in age. He's not getting any younger. He's not getting any faster. I think he's a solid RB2 for the Commanders right now, just fitting their scheme and kind of just being a fill-in guy to come in when Brian Robinson is either hurt or fatigued on a drive or even during the game or like even around the goal line. I can see him getting some touches, but I would probably be down on Austin Eckler. I wouldn't be looking to draft him at all. Maybe like a waiver wire pickup after the draft if you really need some depth pieces that you didn't pick up, or maybe like a week 4 guy when injuries start to accumulate, or even like week 6.
I mean, I feel like he gets drafted like Thielen just based on name because you're like, oh yeah, I know this guy. Yeah. I think a lot of people draft like that, dude, especially in the late rounds. I mean,
guess that's fair. Just like you said, like he's a household name.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
knows
Like
who
everybody.
he is.
Oh, but you're like, oh, isn't he on the Chargers?
Wasn't
like,
he?
no, dude.
Wasn't he in San
Yeah.
Diego?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, he's not somebody that should be started at all at the beginning of the season. Rostered, yes, that's fine. Handcuff, maybe if you want.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But as starting right out of week 1, no way.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm out. I'm out on week 1, but
Yeah.
I'm in on him for a little bit of production. Next guy is Dallas Goedert. He's actually up there in age 2, and Philly was actually looking to shop him around as a tight end around the league and saying, you know what can we get for this guy? He missed 7 games on them last year, and he was still very productive. He was very relevant in terms of fantasy, but those 7 games did hurt him. And like I said previously, we have a 5-game requirement for this list, and I think that's like a good mark, because when you miss 5 games, especially like in fantasy, that's rough on somebody's roster. You know, you have to find someone else to fill in for 5 or 7 or 10 or 12 weeks. Like that could be the whole season. That could be half the season. So I think somebody like Dallas Goedert, he has great talent. He's very productive on the Eagles, even with all that talent around him, like Saquon and A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. But I think he's still very productive in this team. If he goes to another team, do you think he's less productive, or do you think he's more productive?
It depends on the team. Like if he went to Dallas, right, he'd probably have an uptick for sure.
Right.
It just depends, but yeah, it's hard to fill a tight end position if you already had your starter and they go out. It's going to be hard to fill their productivity because there's only so many relevant tight ends in fantasy.
Yeah, I think
So
if like
in that scenario, you might even just play the matchup. You know what I mean?
that's fair.
Because
Yeah.
like
Week to week.
you're not. And again, this is just me, but I'm never leaving the draft with 2 tight ends.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
There's no way.
Sometimes I wouldn't
You
even
know what I
leave
mean?
the draft with the tight end, depending on like how late you decide to draft a tight end.
Yeah. That's why, and that's what I'm saying is that if your main starting tight end goes out already, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
And it's just hard because there's nobody you can plug and
and
play.
I've seen a lot of teams, or like a lot of people on social media, say that they get rid of the tight end and the kicker position just because both those positions are so inconsistent. You know, and
That's
you can't
disrespectful.
Really,
Stop.
I think that's
That is
disrespectful to the tight end
disrespectful.
position. I don't think it's so disrespectful to the kickers.
Dude, you go kick a fucking 50-yarder right now in the cold.
I'm not saying
in
it's
Lambeau.
easy, but it's like when
No,
you
you just said it wasn't hard.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I never said. I
You
never said
they
it
don't
was.
do anything.
I didn't say that. I said
That's
people
exactly
on social
what
media.
you said.
said
No,
that they're
no, no. We
out
need
on
to stop
kickers.
disrespecting people in general.
I think Brandon Aubrey. Like, if you don't have Brandon Aubrey, you don't have a kicker.
Yeah, what's the
like,
guy's
Young
name
Wei
from
Koo?
Atlanta? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
or
solid.
like Cameron Dicker from Dicker the kicker from
Yeah.
LA.
Solid name too.
He's a great name, household name.
Yeah,
If you ask me.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Cameron.
Yep. But yeah, like let's not disrespect anybody, okay? You disrespected me by disrespecting them. How about that?
Are you a kicker in your past life or what?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways,
But no, I'm just saying, like, I still like having those positions because, yeah, one day your kicker gets you 15 points and you just happen to need it that week. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to have like a very productive fantasy kicker, but you're only looking for like 8 or 9 points from them per week.
that's fair. Yeah.
And like if you get anything more than
like
that,
if they get you like a 20-point game,
yeah,
like, that was an
that's
extravagant
that's
game.
found money. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
No, exactly. So
but
up or down on Dallas Goedert? I'm gonna go down actually.
yeah, I just think Zaquan being there, just his usage hurts everyone.
Yeah.
You know
All
what
right.
I mean?
Next guy we got actually didn't play a single snap. We talked about him last week, so let's not get into him too much. But JJ McCarthy, I'm actually excited for. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna be up on him this year, like a lot actually. Truthfully.
Yes, I mean, like I said, you can only go up from here with JJ McCarthy. You know what I mean? But no, I'm just saying, like I said, if he's down, that means he's not playing at all again. So
You know, I'm actually looking at this list. The next guy on is TJ Hawkinson. We got JJ, TJ, and then like Justin Jefferson. Like they also call him J Jettas. So it's like we got JJ, TJ on this team. That's kind of funny.
That's kind of weird. They should do some sort of marketing thing based on that.
Yeah,
I'm just
they really
saying.
should.
Somebody in their PR office, call me. 50-40 split, 60-40 split, by the way.
60.
Anyways, I don't have much to say on McCarthy. I don't know how I don't know how you draft a quarterback and you haven't even seen him play. And,
Honestly, if
well,
I
no,
were,
I
like-
mean like for fantasy wise, like
So,
not as an organization.
if
Obviously,
I didn't have a quarterback by like the 8th round and I focused solely on skill positions, I wouldn't mind taking JJ McCarthy.
Nope.
Truthfully, I think that's my personal take.
Yeah, no,
Is that a hot take?
it's lukewarm, like that water you wanted.
Lukewarm. Where is my water? Oh, there it is.
I wanted room temp.
I wanted room temperature
bless.
boss water.
Hawkinson, I'm way more excited for because he has potential and he's a baller. So that's like I said, if you take him and he's your tight end one, your best bet is that like if he goes down, just to pick up the second string tight end.
I think
in
these guys
Detroit.
go hand in hand because if JJ doesn't have a good season, then neither does TJ. You know, like the one target that will have a good season, even if JJ doesn't, is going to be Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it goes hand in hand if JJ McCarthy has a great season. So if you guys are up on JJ McCarthy, I would definitely be up on TJ Hawkinson as well.
I just like the way he plays, and I think he'll just get usage somehow. But that's why I'm saying if you have him, you're better off getting his backup in case he gets hurt because you know that team values that position. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, JJ McCarthy, no dice. Hawkinson, I would look to draft him late. Not late, but like he's not going to be depending on the league, he could be one of like the top 5 tight ends off the board in the league.
Honestly, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
So
like the first 5 or 7 tight ends.
all right, let's move on to the AFC here. We have a fuckload of players on here.
You know what? All of them really aren't like super relevant to like get into. Like, do you want to knock out like the non-relevant ones first, or do you want to leave them till the end?
Yeah, let's do that because I do need to make this parlay bet here.
Oh my!
But we'll do that in a bit. But the games don't start till 4.
So you
we
want to do
got
relevant
time.
first or non-relevant?
Let's
first?
just name the ones that are not relevant to me. So I'll go through it, and then you can go through it,
Yeah.
and then we'll just touch on a few of these guys.
I think Mike Williams is the first one that I see.
Yeah, he's probably the most irrelevant one on here.
Yeah. Well, actually, maybe
Christian
not the
Kirk
most
too. I
irrelevant.
would say, like he's kind of
Yeah.
fallen off.
He's
really
definitely
bad.
a wide receiver 2 on the Texans or 3. I mean, who else do they have? They got Nico Collins.
Yeah, Nico Collins is on
And then
this list.
number 2 would be Christian Kirk.
Yeah. So, I don't know, dude. Will Levis too, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Big Will guy?
especially if they
Big
draft a
Willie
quarterback,
Will?
then he's definitely irrelevant.
Yeah. I think
Big Willie Will?
Yeah. Something about mayonnaise you mentioned.
Dude, did you guys know that? I mean, this is already like old news for some people, but like if you're not aware, when Will Levis was drafted, there were so many memes about him because there's a video like that was crisp.
Sorry.
There was a viral video of him where he grabs a cup of coffee and he grabs a scoop of mayonnaise and he puts it in the coffee and mixes it around and he actually drinks it. Like it's a zero cut, it's zero edited. Like he grabs mayonnaise, stirs it in his coffee, and it's hot, so it melts in the coffee. And he just drinks it. And I'm like, what does this guy do on his off time?
This guy needs to be jailed.
Like I feel like
as soon as possible.
If somebody like switched out his snack pack, like his vanilla snack pack with mayonnaise, I don't think he would mind.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's kind of nasty.
No, but he needs to be jailed, and they need to put him in the solitary confinement because he needs to learn to fucking not do that.
Yeah, so I don't
know
think
what I mean?
I'm out on Will Levis this year. I'm out on Christian Kirk. I mean, Christian Kirk, I could see him being like a viable flex option later down the line. Like I said, when injuries start to rack up, but out of the gates week 1, I'm definitely not looking to start Christian Kirk either.
Who the fuck did Stephon Diggs sign with?
He signed with the Patriots. Did you see that? He signed a 3
what
years,
the hell?
$69 million deal. Nice.
Out on that guy for sure.
What? Oh,
R.I.P. Stephon. You just fucking
No, you know what?
you
Stephon
ruined your
Diggs-
career by going to New England. Are you serious?
You know what? Coming from a Patriots fan who's absolutely non-biased against them, he's going for 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns, and I'm gonna say roughly around 114 receptions.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, okay?
He's going for 1,400
Bro,
yards.
Stephon just
114
ruined his
receptions.
career.
Bro, what?
He just
Bro, I saw this graphic where it was like Randy Moss was unhappy on the Vikings. He was
Randy Moss had Tom Brady.
And
Tom
what?
Brady, Drake May.
Okay, Drake May's the second
my
coming.
God.
What are you talking about?
October's very own Drake May.
October.
No, dude. You're high, or just kidding. You're not. I am. Stephon, like I said, he just fucking. You might as well have nailed. He metaphorically
actually-
put the nail in his own coffin. How about that? Metaphorically, I'm not saying he died. That'd be sad. R.I.P.
Yeah, well, he didn't die. He's
He
gonna
didn't
have
die.
a
His career
1,400 yard
died.
season. I don't know,
Dude, you're
like,
tripping. Stop.
There's a lot
Stop.
of reports saying
Stop.
that he, like,
Stop.
no,
You're tripping.
No, I'm
Okay.
not. Well, he tore his ACL week 8. He missed 9 games on the season. So it's like, do you even start him week 1 if you're the Patriots? Like, truthfully, like, stop looking around the room.
I'm so like I don't
Like
even.
you're dumbfounded.
I don't know why I'm entertaining this. I don't want to hear anything about
I
Stephon
think
Diggs.
this guy's like one of the most relevant people on this list.
You are wrong.
No.
Maybe
I
on this
think-
list. I think Isaiah
this
Pacheco is way more relevant.
Oh, God, no. Oh, my God.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
RB1 for the Chiefs.
No, did you see how much production he lost after he came back off of a broken fibula? Like,
Yes.
like he
because who
came-
did they sign?
Kareem Hunt.
Exactly. He's
Dude, Kareem
he-
Hunt's like 50.
No, I
and
know,
he
but
put up
he's
more
like
production than Isaiah Pacheco.
Yes, but Andy Reid has that relationship with that fool already. So it's like easy. And then Pacheco was probably not even fully healthy. That's why they didn't fucking
You know what
play
it is?
him.
I think I'm mad at Isaiah Pacheco because in one of my leagues I drafted him like super high last year.
Right.
And he had like a solid like first 2 weeks and then he got
Yes.
hurt like week 2 or week
No,
3.
that's what I'm saying is that he has the potential to be a league winner. Pacheco does. He's done it before. But anyways, Stephon Diggs and the Patriots can go fucking play in the dirt.
Okay, well, you
Okay.
know what? They're going to be playing in the snow and they're going to have one of those
Stephon
games.
Diggs is gonna get released week 3 just
Bro,
because
not
he's
gonna-
like fuck Foxborough.
targets.
Yeah, dude.
Well, like he's complaining about targets. I think that's all he's gonna get in Foxborough. Like he's gonna be targeted.
They
14
can't
times.
throw the ball.
Yes, they can. The problem is they
Okay,
don't have
look.
receivers.
Here's the problem: is that you're approaching this from a fucking fan perspective.
No, I'm not.
You're supposed to be neutral.
Oh
You're a
my-
podcast host.
I am neutral.
God damn it, dude!
Like
hate this.
I think Trevor Lawrence
I'm
is a
outta here.
fantastic quarterback.
I'm out of here. This is bullshit. I guess besides that, Tua obviously is relevant too because
Yeah, Tua is relevant for sure. I don't like Tua, but he's
I mean,
relevant.
why don't you like him?
I
God,
don't like Tua.
dude,
Like,
what did I say about disrespecting
I think
people?
it's because he's on the Dolphins. You know? Like,
Okay, yes, but he's a great guy.
is he?
Yes, left-handed
he?
quarterbacks.
Does he even know 1, 2, 3? Like, does he know
Dude,
his
that's
ABCs?
fucked. That is fucked. God.
Like, I think if you asked him to count to 10, he'd miss a couple numbers.
Why?
in
Because
between.
of all the concussions he had?
Well, why else? Like,
fucking dick.
at
dude.
least he doesn't put mayonnaise in his coffee.
I'm gonna concuss you right now. You know what I mean? You know why Will Levis probably does that is because he's had so many concussions.
Probably no.
And he's not right in the head.
I would have to look.
He's like,
back.
this isn't creamer. Fucking mayo all over. And then he
so
just drinks it and he's like, oh, it's a little sour. It must be the coffee
Okay,
grinds.
if you had to, what would you rather drink in your coffee? Sour cream or mayonnaise?
Neither.
No, you have to pick one. Like if you had to. I'm picking sour cream. Actually, no.
Yeah, because I mean, cream goes and this is just sour cream. You know, this cream is just sour. You know, instead of like the regular cream you'd put in your coffee.
I guess you're right because like mayonnaise has vinegar.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like,
Mayonnaise is just not and it's thicker, so it's gonna float around in your coffee, and then you're gonna take a sip and you're gonna feel the chunks. Like, yeah, that's disgusting.
That's so nasty.
But yeah, so like I think also Nico Collins is probably really important because
extremely.
he was balling out. And then he got hurt, and then I think Tank Dell is not going to even play this year.
Nah, he's probably going to miss the rest of the season.
So
it would be a long shot if he even came back for like the playoffs.
Right. So that's why Nico's going to have his fair share of targets. Plus, no Stephon Diggs there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like the 1-2 punch in Houston is going to be Nico Collins and Christian Kirk, but I
so
think
Nico would be like a wide receiver 1 in fantasy then.
Yeah, I think he would definitely be like top 12, top 15. I mean, he does have his injury history, which is kind of what makes me like skeptical about him, but I've seen too many people be so high on him in order to be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna count this guy out, and like he's not top 12 or top 15. Like he's definitely not outside the top 15. Worst case scenario, he's wide receiver like 14 on the year. But I still think he stays top 15, even if he has a quote unquote irrelevant season when it comes to fantasy. I think the second most viable player there would be like Joe Mixon, but we're not talking about Joe Mixon. Another running back that we would be out on would probably be Tajay Spears. I think he's more of like a handcuff. He missed 5 games last year. I feel like he missed more, but just because he was behind Tony Pollard in Tennessee. So that 1-2 punch right there in Tennessee, Will Levis and Tajay Spears, nobody's looking their way in the draft. I don't think so. Another guy that everybody should definitely 100% be out of is Deshaun Watson. He missed 10 games last year. We can all agree that Deshaun Watson is not a good person. And he's not a good quarterback either after leaving Houston.
I'm not going to say. I'm not touching Deshaun there. Anyways, yeah.
Well, I mean, he might be touching you. So.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Bro, that's fucked right there. If he's touching you, then that's good, though, because that's a potential lawsuit. I'll get touched bad for a couple $100,000.
More like a couple million.
You can touch me however you want.
What?
However the fuck you want. You're going to give me how much?
You're going to give me how
Fuck,
much?
dude. Do it. Go ahead.
I mean...
I'll undress myself.
What?
Whoa. Easy
Wow,
there. Anyways.
You like to be submissive and... Oh, wait. Hold on.
What were you going to say?
You like to be submissive and breedable.
Jesus. How do you even know what that word means? Submissive. Have you had sex before?
I don't do premarital sex. What are you talking about?
Fuck, dude.
I don't do that.
That's gay. Anyway.
That's gay. Wait, what?
Yeah, Cedric Tillman, another one that has potential. The Bucks wide receiver, right?
Bucks? No.
No,
Browns,
that's the other
Browns,
Tillman. Sorry.
Browns. Yeah, no, you're good. I think you're...
This is the smaller guy, like number 11, right? Tillman?
I think so.
I feel like he's small in stature.
I'll pull him up, but you continue.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he can have potential because of the Amari Cooper dipping out. But the Browns are another team besides, like, you can always kind of count on the Browns running back, like if depending Jerome Ford or
I think
Nick Chubb
is actually a free agent this year.
Right. So
I'm not sure.
No. I'm pretty sure he's still with the Browns.
Is he still on the Browns?
The Browns are good you can get good running back production out of the Browns. But other than that, wide receivers, I would always stay away from them. I was at first like Amari Cooper started out hot, but then he just fell off the face of the fucking...
like after week 1 when they played the Cowboys, everybody's like, oh my God, like Amari Cooper's going to be legit.
Yeah. And it was short-lived.
Yeah.
But the quarterback situation didn't help. But like for fantasy-wise, if you're looking at the Browns, I would just be looking at the running back position. That's it.
Speaking of the Browns quarterbacks, did you see that Jameis Winston signed with the Giants? And everybody was like, oh my God, like Jameis Winston is going to throw 40 touchdowns and 40 interceptions again. And Malik Neighbors is going to have a 2,000-yard season and 30 touchdowns, and they're going to break records. And then for a couple days later...
We touched on this, right?
Did we? Maybe we did. But we didn't actually touch on Russell Wilson signing with them.
Oh, so yeah. We didn't get to that part, yeah. I think Russell automatically starts in New York.
Unfortunately, I think so, too.
Everywhere he's gone, he started right away.
I mean, like, okay, if you want to win games, definitely go Russell Wilson for sure. But like, if you want to like kind of have a fun season and tank at the same
If you
time,
want to have a fun season,
I mean, like, who wouldn't want to see Jameis Winston and Malik Neighbors like go back?
Right. I understand, but when you're the owner cutting these checks, you're not worried about fun. You're worried about winning.
Yeah, like these guys are worried about their jobs.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. Russell, what do they used to call him? Danger,
Mr. Unlimited.
No. Danger.
Oh, Danger Russ.
Did they used to call him that?
The Danger
Okay,
Russ.
that's gay.
But like when he went to the Broncos, or like it was between like I think it was between Seattle and the Broncos, and he was like, they call me, or he's like, I like to have an alter ego. It's Mr. Unlimited. You haven't seen that? It's like the cringiest thing ever.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Dude, it's so bad.
How did he bag Sierra though?
Dude, do you see like she's all like smiles after he signed with New York? I guess she loves being in big cities or something. Cause
It's not the only thing she likes big.
Mr. Unlimited.
A couple last. Let's see. I think we touched about almost.
All right, that's the end of the
anyone
podcast.
here.
Thanks, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Another couple like irrelevant guys. Well, not like irrelevant, but like people that aren't going to be like super relevant would be like Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis, I was gonna say.
Yeah, like
right
Gabe Davis is a wide receiver 2 or 3 on that team, depending on if they bring anybody else into Jacksonville. He was with the Bills, and we did have him like see relevant points in his career. He was like the touchdown guy for Josh Allen at one point, but after he left Buffalo, everybody was like, "Oh my God, like okay, like he's gonna be relevant in Jacksonville, and he's gonna complement what's that guy's
Trevor
name?
Lawrence.
Yeah, like he's gonna be a complement to that offense." But it was quite the opposite. He missed 7 games, though. I think he had a broken collarbone, or that might have been Christian Kirk.
I think that was Kirk. Honestly,
Yeah, it was one of those guys. I think they had a broken collarbone.
I just don't. Jacksonville. There's nothing like good about Jacksonville.
Yeah, like on this list too, we got Trevor Lawrence, who also missed 7 games.
And
I think
Evan
it was
Ingram on there too.
and Evan Green,
But
Ingram,
he's
that's
not.
right.
He's no longer with them.
Right,
though.
he's now a Bronco.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of injuries, like key injuries.
Like if you looked at their roster, you'd be like, "Oh, this is pretty nice." But then they all would never play together.
Yeah, like on paper, Jacksonville should be a playoff team.
right. And then you look at their running backs. So they got 2 solid running backs. And
Yeah,
then,
like they got a Travis
Etienne.
Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. And
Yes,
I actually
what a
didn't put.
name.
I know. I actually didn't put either one of these guys on this list because I think if I'm not mistaken, when I was looking at their profiles, they both missed 4 games, so they were just under the requirement of 5 games.
So if you're a girl and your name or not, okay. Sorry, let me
Okay,
back
where are
this
you?
up.
Hold on. Wait.
Okay, so
do I need to like pause the podcast?
No. So if your name is Tank and you're a guy, right?
Yeah.
And you start talking to a girl, like, do
I
you?
just got tanked down.
God damn! Let me finish, bro. Stepping on my fucking jokes and shit. I was going somewhere with this.
Yo, don't pull that thing.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ, yo. But I mean, you stole my thunder, anyways. OKC Thunder, number 1 seed in the West.
You got that Russell Westbrook thunder.
Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
Shay.
Shea.
You know, for the longest time, you're gonna clown me on this. I used to call him, or no, isn't it Shy or is it Shay? No, it's
Shay.
Shay. I used to call him Shy Gilgeous Alexander.
That doesn't surprise me. You seem like you're dyslexic, and on the spectrum too.
Wow,
But that's a little.
diabolical work.
But yeah, thanks for stepping on my joke. I had
welcome. Appreciate
a
that.
Tank Bigsby joke, and you stepped all over it. And I'm not gonna go back there because I don't remember what the joke was.
Well, anyways, another 2 guys who are also
anyways,
two guys that were teammates that also missed some time. Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice, if you remember, he Patrick Mahomes was actually the one that fucking tore his ACL apart. When they were playing the Chargers, I remember like exactly when it happened. So Patrick Mahomes was like going in for a tackle after he threw an interception, and he ended up hitting the knee of Rashee Rice with his helmet, and he got up and then like he went right back down. And then they carted him off, and they were like, "Oh, like there's fears that he may have torn his ACL, but nothing was confirmed for like a couple days. Actually, it took a couple days, and then they were like, "Yeah, like he tore his ACL, so he was out for the rest of the season."
that's what we call friendly fire.
Yeah, no,
R.I.P.
literally.
Pat
Like,
Tillman.
So he missed what? Pat Tillman.
R.I.P. Pat Tillman. You don't know who that is?
Yeah, I know who Pat Tillman is.
Yeah,
but like,
he
I was
died
just
from
like,
friendly fire. That's how he died.
Did he? Oh, that's why they have the Pat Tillman Award. Oh.
Yeah, but he died from friendly fire though.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah,
that. He
that-
played for the Cardinals. Didn't he?
Yeah, the government doesn't want you to know that.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you looked that up on like some X Files?
Joe Rogan. Everything he says is true, right? It's all fact.
Yeah, like his AG1. We're not sponsored. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah. No, but R.I.P. Pat.
R.I.P. Pat. Rashee Rice missed 13 games. Hollywood Brown missed 15 games. He definitely had a broken collarbone. Maybe that's who I was thinking about. But he missed 15 games this year, which is absolutely insane. Like, he only played 2 games the entire year, so I don't think it's fair to write him off. They re-signed him. So I think he could be productive with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. I just don't know which one. Like, it's like a three-headed monster, but at the same time, it's not even a monster.
Yeah. That's a coin toss. Trying to figure out which wide receiver in Kansas City is going to go off on a weekly basis it's a coin toss.
Yeah, like part of me doesn't want any part of the Chiefs offense. Like, you got Pat Mahomes, who's like going to be consistent.
Yeah.
But then like
Trav.
you have Travis.
Still have to have Travis,
Xavier Worthy,
tight ends.
Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and then like they re-signed Kareem Hunt. So like, is it a double-headed monster with a running back and like Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco? Like, there's just so many key components on this team, and like they did lose Justin Watson. He actually signed with the Texans. Fun fact about Justin Watson. I think it was Justin Watson. Yeah, it was Justin Watson. He has made the Super Bowl every season he has played.
How many seasons has he
I
played?
think he's played 6 seasons. So his first 2 or 3 were with the Bucks, and his first 2 were with the Bucks. So his rookie year, he was with the Bucks.
He played with Brady.
He played with Brady.
Okay.
He won the Super Bowl. The next year, he missed the entire season, and then like the next 3 years, he played with the Chiefs. He made the Super Bowl every single year, and now he's with the Texans. So it's like everybody's like, oh, like, are the Texans gonna make the Super Bowl?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Why would you even utter that?
Well, like
Texans
like another thing, like it's one of those like crazy stats. Like, I see all those crazy stats all the time, and it's like Marquez Valdez-Scantling has played with like the last 5 MVPs. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So like, he's played with Josh Allen, who just won MVP. He played with Lamar Jackson, who won MVP.
But what does that say about you as a player when you can't stay on one team?
I mean, like,
I think he's just lucky in that sense.
I mean, it's luck, but I mean, like, maybe he's the good luck charm that they need. Maybe we're
He's
due
a leprechaun?
maybe we're due for a Seattle Seahawks and Houston Texans Super Bowl.
Nobody's watching that.
I would definitely watch
I
that.
would
You're
not
telling me
watch
you
that.
wouldn't watch CJ Stroud
No.
and Sam Darnold duke
No,
it out
because
of
there's
the
only
Super
one.
Bowl?
There's only one football team in Texas, and that's the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're just. Yeah. Anyways, who
Facts.
do we got on here next? Anthony Richardson. I'm out on Anthony Richardson. I don't know about you.
A-Rich?
A-Rich?
My dog A-Rich?
AR5?
I mean, like I said, that's a plug-and-play quarterback for like a bye week, I would say, at best.
He's just like, he's one of those guys that can have 40 points a week for a quarterback, and then he can also go for 4 points.
Yeah, so that's the type of player that, like I said, I would target for like a bye week fill-in, depending on the matchup, I guess. But yeah, he's not someone, if you're consistently starting him as QB1, then you better have like a badass set of skill players, running backs and receivers, because you could get a better quarterback other than him. So I would say, I don't even know if he gets drafted this year.
Yeah,
straight out the bat.
I would much rather have Justin Fields in New York over Anthony Richardson.
Justin Fields?
Justin Fields on the Jets. You're telling me you wouldn't rather have Justin Fields on the Jets?
Just because he can run.
Exactly, but it's
That's
like
it.
he's way more consistent than Anthony
Okay,
Richardson.
but Justin Fields is not good.
Are you... what did you just say?
He's not good. I don't think he's
Hold on,
good.
can you repeat that one more time? 'Cause
Justin
I don't think I heard
Fields
you right.
no es bueno.
Wow,
Okay.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
No, are you kidding me? I think Justin Fields is such a good quarterback, and everybody like writes him up.
What?
Okay, like I don't think he's like a top 5 quarterback. I'm not saying like, oh my god, like he's the second coming of Brady.
Justin Fields.
Yes, Justin Fields.
The J Fields.
The JF. What number is he?
JF
like
dog.
5
I don't know.
or 1?
I don't even know his number. He's trash.
1. I think he was 2 on the Steelers.
No, okay, Justin Fields. I don't understand how you say he's good. Like, you just like
He's
so definitive.
good.
Like, he's good. He's fucking great. No, he's not.
He's good. Plus, okay.
He's not.
Little fun fact: he's going to the Jets, right? Who's on the Jets?
The Jets
Garrett
suck.
Wilson. Did you know him and Garrett Wilson played in college together?
So what is that?
What do
What
you
is
mean
that?
so? That chemistry is
Oh
already
my
there.
God. Yeah, if he can fucking throw the ball.
He will. He's gonna throw for 25.
Okay, let's
28
make a
touchdowns
fucking
this
bet
year.
here.
Okay. Justin Fields over under the QB
Season long.
13 and a half on the season.
You think he's going to be in the top 12?
Okay, or 14 and a half.
No, you said
14 and a
13.
half,
He
so
said
he's either-
13, folks.
Okay, you know what? Fine, 13 and a half. So
Okay,
is he
yeah.
the quarterback 13 or higher, or is he under
He's
QB
higher.
13?
He's higher than that.
You mean higher as in like
Okay, so just
14 and
no.
behind.
So just like 1 to 32, right?
Right.
He's gonna be higher than 14. So
Wow,
that
that's
means he's gonna
crazy.
be one of the
I
back
think,
ends of
no,
the
because I think he
boys'
actually has the
quarterbacks.
potential of being like the QB 13 on the
Okay,
year.
so then what are we betting on this?
It's just a bet. We
No,
gotta
we
come
have
back.
to. No, we have to put stakes to it. I mean, there has to be stakes.
Stakes to it. Okay, let's put some stakes on.
Like some actual
Like some
steaks.
actual
okay,
steaks.
we'll bet a steak dinner at Roadhouse. How
I'm
about
down.
that?
Ah, I
Okay.
fucking-
All right. I know you do.
I
That's
actually
why
just
I
went.
said that.
I just went a couple days
So
ago.
we can go right now.
I'm
We'll go
down.
after this.
I gotta work,
We'll go tomorrow.
guys. This isn't my full time job. Believe it or not. I know I'm so successful.
I don't even have a job. This is my job.
Oh, this is your job.
I
Your
just talk
full-time
for a
job?
living.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
working on my stand up, like I said.
Oh, really? Yeah. Are you pursuing?
Yeah, I've been writing.
Are you gonna be the next Fluffy?
No, I've just been writing.
Okay.
You know, I'm not fluffy. Well, I am fluffy. Not like, well, I'm fat.
What are you gonna be called? Gordo?
No, I'm just gonna be called Chris. Chris, why do I have to embrace the Mexican culture like that? That's one thing about like Mexican fucking stand up is everybody tries to embrace like the mom's chancla thing or the fucking I don't know. They embrace all the Mexican like
Aspects.
no, like the generalizations that people think of Mexicans, like
Oh, like the stereotypes.
the stereotypes. They
Yeah.
embrace it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but like I don't want to be Carlos Mencia or George Lopez. Like those guys are already there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be just like this fucking you're like, oh, you're Mexican? You look fucking like Arab, but you sound like you're white.
You look Arab.
Yeah. You're Mexican because you're brown and we can tell, but you look like you belong in the Middle East.
But you sound white.
But you sound white. Like
I get that.
Yeah,
Because,
it's
like,
fucked.
Everybody calls me like some whitewashed Mexican, including my girlfriend.
Well, you are because you're not Mexican.
Well, like I am. Okay, I am Mexican, but
Yes,
I
but
don't
you,
act it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like you don't even know Spanish, so that's disrespectful.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
But yeah, I mean, so
I
would-
know some of it.
No, you don't. If you
I
can't
do.
talk, if you can't hold a conversation, then you don't know.
Okay, then I don't know.
Yeah, because if you say you do, and then you're in a position where you need it, you can't use it, so then you don't know it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
But,
it's like
if
it's
somebody-
like
if somebody were like talking to me like in Spanish, then
what was that? You scared the shit out of me.
we had a little bit of an interruption there.
If you like, it's like you say you know the answer to a test, and then you go to the test and, you don't know
actually
the
know it.
answer.
I
So
guess
that's what
fair.
it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't want to be that type of like comedian. I want to just be like just a funny person, you know?
Just a fun.
Yeah. Exactly. But I've been
anyways.
writing though. Yeah. I told you
you
the
know what?
premise last
Good for
night
you.
at the bar.
You did. Oh, that's right.
I'm not gonna- yeah.
You were actually writing it down in your
Dude,
notes. I thought you were like joking around
no,
about
watch.
that.
I've been writing. Watch. Let me show you. I'm not gonna.
Guys, did
do
you know that
anything
Chris
here.
is like J.K. Rowling's like
But,
writing?
see?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
This is all these. This is like 4 bits.
I
Right
know you
here.
guys can't see this, but he's got a full
Yeah.
notes dedicated to like his stand-up bits. Or
Yeah.
you know, why don't you tell one of them right now?
No, because I'm still workshopping them.
Oh, okay.
And you can't do stand up on a podcast. That's not like
Yeah, I guess that's
yeah.
fair. Like
Because you like part of the stand up is the way you deliver it and the way you look and like the way you interact with the crowd. And so
well, like I mean, like I can give you like a crickets or like a round of
no,
applause. you know, like
but yeah. I mean, no, because then if it sucks, then I'm not ever gonna write again.
so I just get to it.
Yeah. So you would fuck me up like that. So I don't want to.
Would it take a hit to your ego or?
No, I would just be like, well, that joke sucked, so I'm not gonna do this ever again.
Okay, but like that's good feedback though. Because like if somebody told me like, hey, like you shouldn't be doing this, like, do you want to continue doing that? Like, I mean, I get it. It's just one person's
Right.
opinion, but it's like at least it's feedback. Like,
Yeah.
think of it as positive feedback.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. But it's gonna be negative from you, so I already know that. No, I mean, I feel like I can make you laugh, right?
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
you can
so
make me laugh.
I think it's there. I just need to refine it, and then
I mean, like you just sometimes in your life you have those people that are like naturally funny, and like I feel
Yeah.
like you're a naturally funny person.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I feel like I am.
Okay, you know you are. Oh, okay.
Yes, because like I would say because yeah, like I can make someone laugh. Like if you put me in a room with a random guy And
he would
he's
be able to
actually
make him
not
laugh.
like an asshole. Like he's just a decent, like friendly guy.
Like human being. Yeah.
Yeah, I will make that guy laugh in a matter of like 5 minutes, and not even
5
like
minutes?
trying to be like super funny. Just like
See, I don't know about 5 minutes because like you have those people that don't have like any sense of humor at all, and they kind of just like stand there like a statue.
right. But that's why I'm saying it has to be somebody that's like actually involved with talking to you.
Okay,
You know what I
that's,
mean?
that's
Like
fair. Yeah,
they're
because,
like participating in the conversation.
Yeah,
if he's
'cause-
not saying a word to me, then yeah, there's no way.
like, what if he's just sitting in the corner looking at you like, get away from me?
Yeah, no, fuck that guy.
And then of course you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
All right, let's round out this list with. I think we got 2 more guys to talk about. We got David Njoku from the Browns who missed 6 games. I'm definitely up on David Njoku. I think he's one of like the top 5 tight ends in the league, top 7, somewhere hanging around that stratosphere of tight ends. It just really depends on who they draft at QB, but I think David Njoku is such a talented tight end in my eyes. It's such a shame that like he's on a team like the Browns and he's not on a team like the Cowboys. Because if you were on a team like the Cowboys who do utilize their tight end position very well, I think he's easily an 800-yard tight end every year nonstop. Like that's non-negotiable. And I think he also gets like a minimum of like 4 to 5 touchdowns every single year if he's on the Cowboys. But he's on the Browns, so he doesn't really get that. He does get production even though he is on the Browns and he is a top tight end. It's just a shame that he is on an organization like that. And then the last guy we have to talk about, I think is like one of the bigger names on this list, and that's T. Higgins, who signed an absolute monstrous extension with the Bengals. He signed a 4-year, $110 million deal, or 115. It's one of those. But did you know that the Bengals are actually spending 48% of their cap space on 3 players, and that's Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean that's win now mode right there.
But it's like win now with what defense?
Oh well, I mean you could figure that out. I mean you can be
Can you really?
you can be okay.
Like you have to win the draft in order to win now.
right, but you probably know your defense is not going to be the strong point of your team.
So then why do you go out and sign 3 guys? I mean, like they already had Joe Burrow, so like that's
Right.
That's just a staple already.
Yeah, but you
like,
have to keep Joe Burrow.
honestly, I think if I were the Bengals, I'm letting T. Higgins walk.
Yeah, I mean they probably should have done that, but I mean
And honestly, I think if you let T. Higgins walk, for some reason in my mind, I don't know why, but I feel like the price drops just a little bit. I'm not talking like $20 million, but I'm talking like maybe like $5 million, $10 million. It drops a little bit for Jamar Chase just because he's like, okay, like I don't have a compliment and he doesn't have that ego like in his ear, like we need the bag, you know?
no, I don't know. I feel like Higgins would still garner wide receiver 1 money probably anywhere else.
Oh, I highly agree. I think he should have gone to the Patriots. Like, I mean, I would have rather had T. Higgins
I'm
than
gonna
Stephon
drop
Diggs.
this fucking mic right now. The fucking Patriots.
please don't, they're
Jesus
brand new.
Christ. No, dude. I mean, just the market for him. Somebody was gonna pay him. That's it. That's all it comes down to. So either you like him enough to keep him around, or which is what they did because somebody decided.
Okay, but look at
we're gonna spend the money with this guy, even though he's our wide receiver too.
Okay, look at a team like the Chiefs or look at a team like the Patriots. Those are the 2 dynasties you can think of, right? Like when you talk dynasties, like I'm not just talking about teams that are okay.
Cowboys.
Okay. Anyways, like the Patriots, how many like phenomenal like tight end or like I'm sorry, not tight end, wide receiver 1s did they have throughout the years? Like Julian Edelman was a great tight end. But I feel like Julian Edelman is one of those guys where he was a low-key wide receiver 1. He wasn't asking for...
Yeah, but he wasn't wide receiver 1.
No, he was a wide receiver 1. But
No, you can't be wide receiver 1 playing in the slot the whole time.
No, okay. Like Julian Edelman, Randy Moss. Those were the 2 guys they had, right? Throughout their dynasty.
Yes.
Like outside of the tight end position, because obviously you had Gronk and then Aaron Hernandez for a little bit. But outside of those guys, like who did they have? They had Chris Hogan.
No, we're not talking about him.
Okay, but like I'm talking like you.
I mean, they had
like
some
that.
more notable wide receivers.
like
I can't.
Danny Amendola.
Yeah, there's a guy with some dreadlocks running around out there. I'm sure that I can't remember his name.
Probably. I mean, like, didn't Randy Moss have dreads on the Patriots?
I'm sure.
Or were they cornrols? I don't know.
He's more of a corn guy.
Yeah, he's more of a
the big corn guy.
big corn guy.
No, but I'm just saying, like I can't remember him, but I can. If we brought up the Patriots wide receivers over the dynasty, we'd be like, oh yeah, they had him and him.
Well,
and
like
him.
they had Josh Gordon for a little bit, but he
Yeah,
wasn't.
no.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, but okay, so
they had. Did you know
Edelman, right? You're saying wide receiver number 1,
Right.
Which wouldn't be true because you're playing in the slot, so you're facing
Okay, but
normally a
in
safety or probably like a linebacker that's going to cover you.
But like even towards the end of the dynasty, like Gronk had retired,
right.
and it was just Edelman and Brady. Like they had no backfield help, they had no tight end help. Like who else was it?
Yes, but at that point, yes. But over like the
Yeah, but
majority
even-
of his time there, he wasn't. wide
Okay, but
receiver
like
one.
that's what I'm saying. Like you had Danny Amendola, you had Chris Hogan.
So you're saying you can
had-
plug and play wide receivers?
Yes and no. I think it comes down to the quarterback because
Well,
if you
yeah,
have a
yeah,
talented
yeah.
quarterback
Yeah.
like Joe Burrow and like Tom Brady, right? Best quarterback to ever play the game to about 90% of the population. Okay, or what? Okay, well I said 90. You're part of the
Yeah,
10.
we're not talking about that right now.
Anyways, when you have a talented quarterback like that, or like Patrick Mahomes, like how many wide receiver ones has he had outside of Tyreek Hill?
Right. Okay. So
And how many Super Bowls has
right,
he made
right,
without
right, right,
Tyreek
I
Hill?
understand what you're saying. The Bengals probably shouldn't have done that, but somebody in that organization made that decision, and that's it.
And I think that was a wrong decision.
Right. Which it probably is.
Like T. Higgins would probably have been better off walking, both for the Bengals and for him. Like he walks anywhere else, he's gonna get a bigger deal. I think, like maybe like 10 million.
Yeah, probably
more.
more. But I mean, he must like it there. I think people don't think about shit like that. Like, hey, I will take $10 million less.
You're telling me
if
you
that
would
means I'm
rather
going to
take-
play with Chase and Burrow.
But like, okay, what if you went to a team like the Chargers? Like, not only do you
Like,
get
I
some
would
of those-
not be signing a bag to go to Foxborough or to like a shitty or
Okay,
Jacksonville.
maybe not Foxborough, but like T
Or a
Higgins,
bad organization. Like
Would you rather be
Cleveland
in? Would you rather
or
be in LA or
Jacksonville.
Cleveland?
I mean, probably LA, but I
See?
mean, a lot of things are like. I mean, it's not that
Like
cut and
you
dry.
go to LA and you get to play with Justin Herbert and Harbaugh, okay?
Right.
And then in Cincinnati, like sure you have Joe Burrow, but I just don't understand how some of these guys don't think like, you know
Well,
what?
maybe there's no state income tax in Cleveland.
I
or
guarantee you
in
there's state income
Ohio.
tax.
No.
In both of those
No, dude, not
states,
every
there's
state
state-
has state
yes,
income
but
tax.
I know, but in both of those states, I
and
think there's
California
state
has a
income tax.
ridiculous state income tax.
I'm sure they do, but Ohio, I don't think can be any better.
I mean, we need to find
Yeah,
this
you
out.
need to pull that up. But I think that rounds out the list. I don't think we got anyone else to talk about. We talked
Why are
about
we
everybody
arguing
else.
so much?
I argue. You know what? We didn't even really talk about Nico Collins, did we? We kind of like
Yeah, we
brushed
did.
over
We
him.
just kind of just ran into him a little bit.
Okay, well, Nico Collins, in case we didn't say, I'm definitely up on him. T. Higgins, I'm definitely up on too. Definitely, those are one of those wide receiver duos that can, both of them can be like wide receiver one caliber throughout the year. And when it comes to, okay, what did you find out? I see you nodding your head over there.
They
like,
do
wow.
have a state income tax, but it depends on how much you make. So
Okay, well, when you're making $110 million, I
he's
think
probably
you got
gonna
a little bit of income
yeah, but
tax.
it's only 3.5%. That's not bad.
Okay, but when you're talking about $100 million, that's kind of a lot of money. What is that? 30?
Yeah, but compared to someone like California,
What is 3%? 30 grand? Or
yeah, that's not that bad.
is it 300 grand? No, 300
No, it's
grand
like-
would be
yeah,
30%.
yeah, it's like
That's 30 grand, right?
yeah, that's not that bad.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
You don't even see that. You piss that money away.
That's fair.
Not me. Well, not you. I do.
What?
12% income tax in fucking
Jesus
California. You see, that's what I'm saying.
That's a huge
and
difference.
okay, and you're talking about millions of dollars. Okay, 12% right there. That's a fuckload. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. I don't care who you are.
I mean, yeah. I mean, wow, that was, I heard that through the mic.
That was a vicious chug.
A
It's because it's getting
vicious
warm.
swig.
So, you gotta drink them faster when they get warmer. Because then you lose it. You don't want to lose it.
Yeah, warm beer is kind of gross.
Yeah, dude, you can't. Yeah, it's rough.
If you, nah, that's a bad question. Never mind.
What?
Okay,
Go ahead.
No,
No,
it's
no,
okay.
go ahead.
I was gonna say like if you had to drink a beer warm, like what would it be? But I think your answer would still be Bud Light.
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have to pound it down.
Well,
That's
because
it.
like there's certain beers that it's okay.
yeah,
to drink
like
a, little
a
bit
German
warmer.
fucking
Yeah, like a German
crazy
beer, like an
beer.
Irish
Yeah,
beer.
yeah. But the Germans are fucked.
Like, did you know that in the pubs they sell those beers like warm?
Yeah.
That's insane.
They don't even have ice in Europe. You
Yes,
know
they
that?
do.
No, like
They have to.
No,
Have
like-
you seen Indian ice?
no. What I'm saying is like when you go to the McDonald's, right, or at a restaurant, like if you ask for water here, it usually comes with ice in it,
Right.
without having to like specify.
So what you're saying over there, you have to specify for ice.
No, some places won't even have ice. They're like, we don't have ice. Like
at all?
Yeah, like you know how we have fountain machines?
Right, yeah,
Like
yeah.
they don't have that shit over there. They're not gluttonous pigs.
Gluttonous pigs?
Yeah, dude.
What are you, freaking British?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. Oh my god.
All right, so I say we start wrapping this up because I do want to watch these games, and
Yeah.
you have to go to work, and
I do
it's
have to
already
go to
3
work.
o'clock.
Yeah. Oh shit. It is
What
3
time
o'clock.
is this? What time is this game
It's
at?
2:52.
I think it starts at. Let me see. It's because I have to make a bet. Everybody, I'm a degenerate.
Wow.
It starts at
Shout
4,
out-
so we
you
have
know,
time.
Yesterday, I was talking to this guy at the bar after you left,
Okay.
and
That white guy.
yeah, that white guy. Shout out that white guy. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry
Yeah.
if you're listening to this. Forgot your name, but
Must
he
have
was
been
like,
really cool then.
no, he actually was pretty interesting to talk to.
Don't even remember his fucking name.
I think his name starts with a B.
Fucking young people, bro.
Dude,
Dicks.
I'm just so bad with names.
so bad.
I am.
My body's so warm. Water.
Anyway, shout out that guy because he
Shout
was
out
like,
that guy.
he was like, you know what? He's like, I bet here and there, but I have friends who are just like complete gambling degenerates, and it's just disgusting to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm over here thinking about Chris, and I'm like,
I know one. You're like, I know one. He
I know
was just
one.
here,
He was
actually.
just here not that long
He just
ago.
left.
You know, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I know somebody of that caliber.
I mean, it's just, it just makes things a little funner. You know, the thing is that you can only gamble what you can afford to lose.
Yeah, exactly. You got
That's
to
it.
gamble responsibly.
I'm not like betting my car note on the fucking.
yeah, like because
you know what I mean?
yesterday Ivan was like, I'm either walking away with 20 grand or I'm losing 10.
Yeah, I was like,
And I'm
that's
just
fucked.
like, that is crazy.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not losing 10 grand.
I'm not losing
Yeah.
10 grand either. I mean, like, if you have a special savings for that, by all means, if that's your decision,
Yeah,
go
but
for
it's
it.
10 grand.
Yeah, you can put that.
We could
towards
do a
car.
lot with 10 grand right now. We could. I'm not even gonna say it.
We can do some renovations to
We
this
could-
place.
Yeah.
With 10 grand, that's a lot of money. That's a big
Strippers.
budget.
You're thinking strippers, right?
Yeah, like a stripper pole right in
Yeah,
the middle,
yeah, right
or
in the
like
middle.
some like a disco ball.
Yeah, but not a big one like for the midget strippers. The fun size ones. They don't have as much attitude as the other
We
ones.
can use the mic stands for them.
That's disrespectful. That's fucked. That is fucked. Yes, we are. Stripper pole in the studio coming up next. I mean, I don't know. I think it's something that we should think about. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's something we can put into consideration. Or you see those legs on that chair?
That's fucked. That's fucked.
All right, guys. Well, I think that about does it for episode 7. We're not going to get into any trivia today because this one was a little bit of a long one. But if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, follow on anywhere you're listening. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Check out our Instagram channel. I'll link it below down in the description. When you guys are watching this, it'll probably be Sunday because this is Saturday. We're recording the day before, but we're going to run out of time here. So it'll be up Sunday, hopefully not Monday. We're shooting every weekend to be consistent. But like I said, make sure you guys follow all the socials. Chris, you got anything else to say?
That's about it, man. Follow me on Instagram at Conversing with Chris. And another good pod in the books. I'm looking forward to this the rest of this NCAA March Madness. Probably one of my favorite sporting events. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all that shit. We tell you every time, but you guys know the drill. So if you guys are listening, thank you once again. And yeah,
Make sure you guys are sharing too. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with people who like the NFL, people who like
Sharing
sports.
is
you know?
caring.
People who
Or
like
so
a little
they
bit of laughter in their life.
people who like to take the top off, which is
Dude, that's
probably
my favorite. I love taking the top
yeah,
off.
a lot
It's
of people
great.
do
It's
that.
Fantastic.
very good at it. Are you?
Very good at it. You know, if I had it twisted, maybe I'd take a couple more tops off. You know?
If you had a twisted, your top would be off right now.
my top would be off.
Mine would
Nobody
probably be
else's.
off too.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm twisting
I'm
your top
usually
off.
one of those guys that like if I see someone shirtless, I'm like I need to be shirtless.
I need to be sure.
Yeah.
So you're like monkey see, monkey do when it comes to that?
Yeah. I'd
Okay,
say,
I can respect that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Like we said, we're gonna get better at everything. The audio is gonna be better. Hopefully visuals will come very soon. And yeah, we got some exciting stuff coming to the podcast very soon. If you guys did enjoy, follow, subscribe, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.